part one of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters Podcast. We'd like to remind you to jump onto the hashtag 3QP to let us know what you'd like to see on the show. Let us know what your interests are in the world of sport. I'm Demiva Duffield.
And I'm Ngaro Kamwe.
So our feature game on match day 6, you know, long holiday, guys have grown, for lack of a better way to put it, fat. Come back in January. Match day 6, our feature game was Nondies versus Impala. And I mean, that also doubled up as the Chums Cup, which they have every year. That was, well, for me, it was an entertaining game in the sense that no a particular time were you sure that one team had it. Impala, I feel it was, in my opinion, their game to lose. They made so many mistakes. I was like, wow. Not to take anything away from Nondies, I can see why they've been doing so well this season. They seem to have gelled as a team. They're playing for each other. You know, there's that camaraderie in the team. But on the day, I honestly feel like Impala just needed to pull up their socks. A few wrong decisions here and there. Okay, many wrong decisions. You know, which cost them at the end of the day.
Nondies started with intent. They got points on board. Of course, Impala responded with a try of their own, and then after that it was seesaw. I mean, each team had the lead at some point, up to about, I think, 4 minutes to time when Impala had the lead, and Nondies made up what I consider a brave call to go for points, and they did go for points, and in the end it did result in a victory for them. While yes, I do agree with you, it was Impala's game to lose, we can't write off the fact that this is a much improved Nondies team.
Much.
Their lineouts were excellent. Their scrummaging, they've never really had a problem with it, but you could see they were dominant against a relatively impressive Impala scrum. They, in my opinion, were much fitter than Impala. We were actually sat down there and we were asking, a couple of the Impala players looked like they were out of shape. And we were asking, I mean, do these guys do any conditioning work, or are they doing a serious conditioning work as they did before? So, yes, I do agree with you that Impala had the upper hand, but we just can't write off Nondies. Nondies did play very well. They were clinical. They were excellent at the breakdown. Their forwards were good as we expected. Their backs, not really entertaining, but they were functional. They did what needed to be done. Defense. Their defense was excellent. I remember one try-saving tackle from their blindside winger, Bravado, just towards on Samson and Songo, in the last maybe 15 minutes of the game.
I remember that.
I remember the number of times they camped in the 22 and Impala didn't leave with points. So their discipline in the defense, or their discipline in defense, was particularly impressive against Impala. And they did deserve the win. As much as, yes, we can say Impala threw away the game with their mistakes. Look, you can't also fault Nondies because they capitalized on those mistakes. I mean, their first try was off an Impala mistake. So it was an impressive performance for me. And you got the feeling that most of the guys, okay, granted, most of the guys some of the guys who were watching that game were also Queen supporters, but you got the feeling that very many guys actually did want Nondies to win. So it's good. I like the resurgence, and it just goes to show if you put in proper systems at club level, then you'll see the results on the pitch, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Nondies.
I love what I'm seeing from Nondies. Impala definitely need to pull their socks up going forward. Nondies just need to keep it going. Just need to keep it going. Don't drop the ball. They're doing so well right now. And I think everyone's actually happy for them. It's kind of like how you root for the underdog. So I think everyone's really rooting for them. So that game ended 22-20 in favor of Nondies. The other games that we had on the day are Harlequins versus Nakuru, which was just before that game. Harlequins winning that 36-21. Strathmore versus Mwamba. At some point in the beginning, I think Strathmore actually scored first. But Mwamba winning that 47-25, showing that they're also no joke and they've come to play. Then Cabras beating Oilers 41-5, no surprise there. KCB beating Mean Machine 53, like 50-3. Again, no surprise there. And the last one was Homeboys versus Black Blab 35-23 to Homeboys. Homeboys still a little shaky, but a win is a win.
A win is a win at the end of the day. I mean, largely what we expected or what we predicted last week. I was there for the Queens versus Nakuru game. It was also a very good game. Seesaw until at some point when Queens took off. I must say it's a joy to watch Eden Aguero back. Kenya Cup, he had a fantastic game. Mwamba versus Strathmore, Collins and Gerald landed a brace.
Hat-trick, actually.
Hat-trick, I beg your pardon. Cabras versus Oilers, we expected that Cabras were going to get at least 40.
Maximum points.
Maximum points, yeah. So largely, I mean, actually, I think, no, you predicted Impala.
Yes, I had. Yes, I had.
So I think we predicted the same.
Yeah, for the rest of them.
Yeah, for the rest of them.
Yep. So the table right now, because obviously things changed after this weekend, we have Cabras at the top, KCB at second, Harlequins at third, Nondies at fourth, Impala at fifth, Mwamba at sixth, Homeboys at seventh, Nakuru at eighth, Black Blood at ninth, then Oilers, Machine, and Strathmore take the last three.
Yes.
Moving on to match day 7. We have Mean Machine versus Harlequins. We've got Mwamba versus Impala, Oilers versus Strathmore, Black Blood versus KCB, Nakuru versus Homeboys, and our feature game will be Nondies versus Cabras.
Yes.
How do you think those are going to go?
So first one is Machine versus Queens. Of course, I'm going to call Queens.
Yeah.
The second one is
Mwamba versus Impala.
Mwamba versus Impala.
That's going to be a tricky one. Even for me, that's a tricky one.
It's going to be a tricky one, but I'll call Mwamba because of home ground advantage. And they've been sort of on the ascendancy in the last few weeks.
Yep.
And Impala have been moving the other way. So that's maybe why I'll call Mwamba on this one.
I'd agree with you on that. I would actually agree with you. Oilers versus Strathmore.
Oilers.
Yeah, definitely. Strathmore, not the Strathmore I was hoping to see this season. My darlings, we need to play better. Then we have Black Blood versus KCB.
KCB.
Well, Nakuru versus Homeboys.
Oof. Nakuru.
Yep.
Because Nakuru are playing at home. Yeah.
I would put it on Nakuru just because of the scores we've been seeing with Homeboys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Nondies versus Cabras. Yes, Nondies have been playing well, but I'd put my money on Cabras any day.
Oh yeah. We were laughing with Nondies Kramer, Evans Msili, popularly known as Toy, and we sat a bunch of us, and we were like, oh, I mean, you guys are playing Cabras next week, and he's like, hey. But anyway, I think Cabras are too strong on this.
I have a feeling after you told him that he was planning how he'll be sick the next weekend so that he can't play.
I would comment. I won't comment past that.
Anyway, guys, show up. Watch your teams. Support your teams. Come watch the matches. We'd love to see you there at the Nondies versus Cabras game. Remember, you can also find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm Demima Duffield.
And I'm Naro Kamuya.
See you in Patch.